Flames are in Toronto tonight to take on the Leafs. I want to ask you a little bit. Man, Noah Hanifin's name, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. It's been wild. And then again this week, his name is circulating around. I just wonder, what are you hearing as far as Zadorov, Hanifin, Tanev? That's three players that to varying degrees, I think, would have a market out there. What are you hearing on the Flames blue line?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that it's going to be a commodity that attracts a lot of suitors. You know, the Toronto Maple Leafs are a team that most definitely are going to have to do something on that blue line. They're going to have to change it. They're going to have to upgrade it. Going into that game tonight, we're told that John Klingberg is going to be a healthy scratch. So you had 4 players brought in by trade. So up front, you had Tyler Bertuzzi and Max Domi. And then you had and Ryan Reeves and John Klingberg on defense. Ryan Reeves and John Klingberg are sitting in the press box tonight. I'm not surprised really by either. Reeves has been a spare part. You know, he has a role. We understand. We appreciate what that role is. Bad luck has followed him this year. So it's gotten to a point where Sheldon Keefe just doesn't feel he can put him out on the ice. And there's no sense having him sit on the bench, you know, for 57 minutes of the game. Klingberg being scratched, he's been horrendous the last 3 games or so. But I think that has more to do with the situation that he's in than John Klingberg just being that bad. I really believe that. I look at Kevin Shattenkirk in the Boston Bruins. You know, he had a sketchy year last year. And he lands in Boston. Boston has gone through injuries and whatnot, but they play a completely different structure. And here's something unique. The forwards actually support that defensive structure and they help their defense, right? So that's taken the heat off and it's made Shattenkirk an effective defenseman. And I'm pretty sure that's what Toronto was hoping from John Klingberg. So Tree is going to try and upgrade defense. You know, is Hanifin a possibility as a rental? Because I don't think Toronto can sign him long-term. Is Tanev a possibility? Zadorov? We know that Treliving, like a lot of general managers, likes the big men, but it's still too soon, and he doesn't have the cap space or the assets to make it work at this stage.
Well, and have the Flames packed it in? Like, is moving those guys a signal of that, or is where are we at with the Flames team, I guess, as well?
Yeah, I'm with you, Rhett. And they shouldn't pack it in at this point. I mean, we're starting to see glimmers of hope here, right? Interesting that they bring Wolf up from the American League, who, you know, he's been brilliant there. I mean, it must be because Markstrom is dinged up. He took that maintenance day earlier this week, so keep an eye on that story as it evolves. But, you know, Calgary seems to be going a little bit better. All eyes will be on Jonathan Huberdeau, of course. But if they can get back to playing average, maybe the confidence goes with that. And it takes some of the heat off the organization so they can actually see what they have. If it goes back the other way, then maybe Conroy pulls the pin earlier. But no different than what we talked about in Edmonton. Everybody is a boss, right? So, you know, we in the media say, oh, you know what? They've got to do something foundationally to change things in Calgary. So why not trade Noah Hanifin and your pending unrestricted free agents? Well, that's fine, but try and sell that to Murray, because Brad Treliving was successful in selling the fact that they had to sign Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri to those big contracts. So ownership, as always, has a huge say in what direction you go.
I think you're right with that. And this is more of a funsies question than are the Flames, and I haven't done a deep dive into a lot of the other teams, but with the Flames, some of their commodities, I guess, it seems like they hold some commodities that those teams, Oilers, Leafs, teams that think they're going to win right now. They have some of those key pieces and those hot commodities that those teams want. Can they take advantage of it if they so chose?
It's hard because it has to be dollar in, dollar out. So you try and find that fit, you know, and then if you're mortgaging your future because you're trying to salvage whatever this season is, and if you're a contending team, a top contending team like Toronto and Edmonton think they are, then I guess you have to embrace whatever you can in way of an all-in approach. But you also shouldn't miss when you're giving up your first-round picks in November in an effort to try and right the ship. So most teams like to see what they've got internally. And, you know, sometimes that can even drag into the new year. But man, there's some hotspot clubs in Canada, not just around the National Hockey League, but here in Canada. Ottawa kind of cooled things down the other night with a big win over the Toronto Maple Leafs, but that was another team that was chanting fire the coach and all of that. So we don't have to look south of the border, Dean, to find headlines in this sport.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.